Hello and welcome to Solutions with Lane. If you're new here, I'm Lane, a hypnotist here to teach you about manifestation as awareness and not through effort. Tonight is Tuesday, so definitely check out my new group, the Conscious Integration Circle. We come together in a Zoom session and talk about different things of, consciousness. If you need support, a little bit of Q&A. We also do a little bit of hypnosis and integration. So definitely join that. It's tonight at 7 p.m. EST. You can also join the membership here on YouTube for exclusive content. And I will be doing live streaming for those Q&A type sessions. All right. So let me adjust myself here. In today's video, I want to talk about how affirmations and techniques don't work and what really does. Now, that might trigger a lot of you because I'm sure you've been on the path of being told of you need to affirm and visualize and do all of these different techniques, and then you'll get your manifestation. And for a lot of people, those things did work. But why is it not working for you? Why did a lot of those techniques not work for me? And it's not because someone else is better at it than I was or did it more than what I did or what you've done or has a better understanding or their imagination is just more vivid and real if they're trying to visualize or it's none of that, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. There was nothing wrong with me. And there's nothing better about that other person that was able to manifest by using affirmations and visualizations and whatever other techniques. Okay. I want to say that techniques have never been what manifests. So that person that used affirmations to manifest, all that they did and why they were successful at it is temporarily. Now, a lot of people that use affirmations aren't able to maintain, and this goes for any technique, but with any technique, I'm going to use example of affirmations. Anytime somebody is affirming, they are temporarily disidentifying from the character that says that they don't have what they want. And they are affirming that their new character. So they're just switching characters. Okay? That's why they're successful. Because they were able to successfully, temporarily, disidentify from the character that says that they don't have what they want, and they were able to convince themselves into a character that believes that they do have what they want. But if you notice, anybody that does any kind of technique can win it temporarily, right? Gets their manifestation, gets their specific person back, but 90% of the time, that person ends up leaving again because they can't maintain that state. They can't maintain that conviction or maintain having to do affirmations or visualizing all the time to maintain it, right? Then that person ends up leaving again, and they have to affirm it again, and it's just a back and forth because you're not actually changing. You're just choosing a different character, and no matter what character you choose, each one of those characters is going to find a way to suffer, a way to fuck it up. A way to go back into the state of you don't have what you want because that's what the characters, that's what the ego is built upon. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily that the techniques don't work. They kind of do, but they're not actually shifting anything within you. You're just bouncing around from one egoic character to another egoic character in a different kind of suffering. That's it. Now, if you want to try something new to where you're not even in any of the characters, you're separating yourself from ego, like the true you holds ego within it, but is not identified with the ego, then this is what you have to do. Okay? It's by going into the present moment. By going into the present moment, you're able to create that same disidentification with the character, but not by telling a new story or affirming a new story. You're just being present. The now is all that ever exists. So those past experiences, those future goals that you're trying to achieve, all live within the now, the present moment. There's nothing in the past. There's nothing in the future for you to achieve, because none of those things actually exist. The only thing that does exist is the now. And the now holds space for all of it. Awareness holds space for all of it. So the way to manifest anything is to disidentify. You have a desire within you. The source within you, awareness within you, already knows what that desire is. The human tries to tell you, like the human self, the ego tries to tell you, you have to do this, this, and this to be able to get what you want. Because the ego mind doesn't understand that God can just say yes, or source can just say yes, and it's done. The ego always wants to work towards something, knowing that, yes, it's telling you if you do these things, then you'll get what you want, because it's formed off of exterior validation, instead of what is actually true, which as soon as you recognize that desire within you and you step out of the way, then the desire already has the fulfillment within it. The desire will manifest. It doesn't matter the amount of time. It's already on the unfolding. The only reason why you don't experience it, or you feel like you have to do more to get it, is because you are identified with the ego. You are identified with those characters. And that's actually what's keeping it further away. That's what's keeping it. And I don't mean like further away to where you have to work towards something. I mean further away to where your perception can't even see it. Because your perception has been muddied by the ego. The ego doesn't believe in God's power. It never was supposed to. The ego is a survival mechanism built within us. So if you have any kind of trauma or abandonment or fears, which every single ego has those things, or else we'd all just be enlightened, be walking around like Jesus Christ himself. Every ego has those things, so every ego is going to be presenting to you survival. This person could hurt you again. We better really do some self-concept work. That way they don't hurt us again, because that past person hurt us. That person hurt us. That one abandoned us. Our own father abandoned us. We were rejected when we asked that girl out at the bar. And coming up with all these reasons as to why you aren't enough, why you need to change, why you need to grow, why you need to heal. But it doesn't actually ever want to change, because it literally is built off of survival. It's trying to protect you. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I say you have to get out of the mind and into the present. It's never was the techniques to manifest. No matter which ones you were doing, the only reason why the techniques work is because it got you to a place where you were able to recognize presence. That's it. The presence of life. The presence of awareness. Think about it. When you are not, affirmations are thoughts, right? So naturally the ego was affirming your lack. Then you find out about affirmations and telling a new story. So you start affirming the abundance of the things that you do want. Well, right there, you're taking your attention off of the lack. And you're creating room and letting go of the resistance. At some point, you'll probably be exhausted by it, but at some point, you will break through and convince yourself and break out of the resistance of the ego. Okay? So I'm not saying I'm not against affirmations or visualizing, like they're permission slips. That's what you enjoy, but there is a more effortless way around it, to where you're completely out of the mind and you just go straight to what was creating it to begin with. Presence. You don't have to do these techniques to get into presence. All you have to do is switch your focus off of lack, off of your identification with thoughts and feelings, and put them on your breath, your body, or your surroundings. And by doing so, you're going, it's literally the cheat code. You're going straight to the source that's creating it, instead of having to, I got to do these things to get there. And then once I'm in the present moment, then I can, finally experience it. You're cutting out the bullshit and going straight into the present moment. That's creating everything. that's creating room for everything to finally be revealed to you. It exists. Your perception just can't see it because it's muddied by the ego. So once you step out of the mind, out of the ego's point of view, things arise in clarity. You're able to see clearly. That's when the perception begins to change. That's when your manifestation begins to come in. So practice this. Practice observing your thoughts, observing your feelings, and taking a step back from the identification with ego and these characters and just being present and doing this all throughout the day. All right? Instead of doing any techniques, they're not necessary. Go straight to the source and cut out all the bullshit. All right. If you did want to work together one-on-one, you're more than welcome to. That will be in the drop box below. Or check out every or one of or all of my mini courses. They dive in deeper on these topics that I'm talking about as awareness. But yeah, all right, guys. So thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, as awareness,